Okay, so this is my wife and my 1996 Airstream B190 that we recently purchased. And I want to show you some of the things that we're doing to it and some of the things that we're already done. So the previous owners haven't done any real modifications. It's pretty standard from the factory. They apparently kept it in very good condition. There weren't any leaks that we could detect. The ceiling is sagging a bit, but from what I hear, that's because of the glue that was used back when these were produced and not because of leakage. So obviously we've started to do some renovations to the rig where the sofa was in usable shape, but we want to refinish it, so pulled that out. Very easy to disassemble the sofa. The bottom frame gets attached with 2 bolts here, 2 bolts on the other side. The top cushion gets attached, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts on this side. This bolt is a little bit difficult to get to when you're working on it because of the generator box, but a boxed in wrench, let me get in there and get that off fairly easily. Just don't want to drop it down there behind the generator. The reason why that was coming out was because this panel here was rotted out. Apparently they had some water leakage at some point through the window, which has been recaulked. You can tell there's no rust anywhere in the interior metal of the rig, so they caught it in time, but it did rot right here on the panel and over here on the panel. So to pull that out, I had to get the sofa out, which, like I said, was very easy. The second piece that had to come out, this is the trim ring that goes around the window. So that trim ring's held on by, I don't know, maybe 20 screws that are screwed in up here. All I had to do was unscrew that trim ring. That pulled out. This top piece, which is the beauty piece that goes up in here. There's only 3 or 4 little screws that hold that to the paneling, and that pulled right off. And then the paneling was free to come out. And when I say free to come out, I mean I just pulled it out. It wasn't held on by anything else but those pieces. It stuck back through here a little bit, but because it was broken in here, it was easy to pull out. Airstream used fiberglass insulation, and I will say that by my estimation, this rig has insulation in it. It is not an insulated rig, because you can see over here there wasn't any insulation even in that cavity. The insulation stopped right about there. This B pillar is completely uninsulated. This up in here, there's no insulation packed into there. You've got all these little crevices here where you could easily stuff insulation in. Down in here you can put insulation. Under the wheel well you can put insulation, and there was nothing except the fiberglass, which basically covered top to bottom here and over to here. So my plan is to get the Havelock wool, which has much better moisture control, much better sound deadening, has equivalent R value. The advantage of the wool is that the R value stays consistent regardless of the relative humidity. The fiberglass, as it absorbs moisture, the R value goes down. So in the summertime, this will have much better insulation for keeping cool than using the fiberglass bats. Plus the wool is much easier to work with as far as ergonomics. I mean, you're not going to get itchy skin or anything from using it, and you won't need a respirator. It's bug treated with boric acid, so it doesn't attract bugs. It doesn't release water like some of the petroleum-based products would. So you don't have to worry about, like down here, you're not going to have water dripping down into the wheel well there when you get into high humidity conditions, because the wool absorbs the moisture and then outgasses when the relative humidity gets low enough. So that's the plan for this wall. Oh yeah, the Home Depot actually sells fiberglass reinforced panels. Airstream did me a big solid. The piece that came out of here was a 4x8 sheet that was cut to fit all these protrusions coming out of the van. I saved the panel that I pulled out, and that's going to be my panel, or that'll be my guide to cut out the FRP panel. Those are only $30 or $40 for a panel that'll cover this whole window. I can get it in an almond pebble grain pattern. It'll be very easy to clean. Also, that I won't have to worry about moisture damage with the fiberglass because that's completely waterproof. Down in here, there was a drawer in here. It had a drawer slide. It was a pretty Freddie Flintstone arrangement. I pulled that drawer out because I've seen several people that have taken the drawer panel here and they mounted it so that it just flips down. It gives you a lot more storage in this area because that drawer is not in there. The goal in this area at some point is to pull the generator box, stuff some lithium-ion batteries in here, put a charge controller up on this wall, an inverter and controls up on this wall, and then run electric instead of a generator. I should be able to get enough lithium in there to run the air conditioner, which also needs to be replaced. It still works, but it's very old. To run the air conditioner for short periods of time during the summertime. Another thing, they use these styrofoam blocks at the bottom of the sides of the window, so that should be fairly easy to get and resize once I get the FRP in. I'm going to try and bring the FRP a little farther off the wall than where it was in order to get a little bit more insulation in there, but the reality is if I can get 1.5 inches, 2 inches of insulation on the van wall, probably doing a good job. So this will never be a true 4-season rig, but it will be better than it was. Carpet will be coming out, vinyl flooring will be coming out. We're going to a Lavio style toilet. This assembly back here, that will all be coming out, and going to an Ever shower with a fairly sophisticated filter hooked up to it so that we can run recirculating showers. I know that that's not optimal, but the goal is to use the adult size wipes to clean and then be able to just take a shower without using soap and water, just for the refreshment value and just to make yourself feel clean. Might pull the storage area out here, but there's a lot there. I really like having that much storage. Plus my furnace is under there and my hot water heater. So until I need to do something about those, probably leave that alone. Pulled the microwave out. That gives us a coffee storage area, which I've seen people do. The guy up at Colonial Airstream put a door up here that folds down and provides a really nice shelf. So if you want to make your coffee in the morning, that's a great place to do it. And like I said, the rest of the rig is in very good shape. Don't see an awful lot of issues. The cabinetry is excellent. I mean, one of the reasons why we bought it was because if you look at this cabinetry from 1996, it really is. I mean, all the hardware is original. All the frames and faces are original. It's solid oak, so it's heavy, but it's very well made. So that's the curtains. They're going to be replaced. My wife is going to Sailrite SAILRITE, has a full video on how to reupholster a RV jackknife sofa, which they've pulled out of a Airstream Argosy that they're or were refurbishing. And literally it looks exactly like our sofa, except for the center fold down piece that has the cup holders. So we were going to buy a new jackknife sofa, but the instructions are so detailed, it looked like, I felt like I could do it if I had a sewing machine. Of course, the skill level that the guy had was beyond what I'm capable of, but it does not look hard to refinish or reupholster the sofa if you had sewing skills or skill with a sewing machine and the right fabric and the right cushions. So that's what we're going to give it a shot. We're going to bring the interior back to look more like the Airstream colors. It's going to be a silver gray couch. All the speaker covers, which I'm going to pull off, are going to be painted light blue for Airstream. The flooring, maybe dark blue, if I can talk my wife into it. Probably not though. And then a gray, silverish gray up on the ceiling. Replace the curtains. She's picked out a nice blue fabric to complement the couch for that. So curtains all the way around. We have the guides up there, but we don't have the sliders, so that's an easy fix, I think. And surprisingly, from my standpoint, I'm probably an intermediate handyman. I've done some advanced work, struggled through it, but typically I'm mid-range, and this is not a very difficult rig to work on. I'm pleasantly surprised by how easy things are coming apart and how easy things are to get to. So I think that as we move along, it's going to be a fairly straightforward process, getting things taken out and put back together the way we like. Anyhow, that's our rig. As we move along, I'll update the video and put it online. Thanks for watching. Bye.